Hello, hello. I hope you are doing well. My name is Tammy Workman-Lopez, and it looks like we are live. A little bit of a countdown that I'm sure that we're on. 3, 2, and 1. We are live. All right. So I'd like to welcome you guys for joining me, being here, taking this time to learn a little bit more about yourself, a little bit more about how to kind of declutter out what's going on and get into your life what it is that you want. Training yourself to rethink, revive your life, and then rejoice with all the changes that you find. And oftentimes we hear a lot of people talking about a lot of things, but they don't give us much information. Today, I want to give you information on how to do this. And then I'm also going to offer to you how you can do even more of it with me, because I've had to have help along the way. And even still, when stuff comes up, because I'm always trying to level up in my business, there's times when I need somebody who's already done that to work with me, to help move me through it. Plus, there's areas where I'm great helping somebody else, but when I'm in it and I'm emotionally invested, I might just be like, "Rah," and I can't get through those emotions. And I need someone else to kind of help guide me, see what's going on, whether it's in my company or whether it's in my relationship. And so I do that also. I can do that one-on-one. I do that for entrepreneurial couples. I do it for small businesses as well as groups. And so that's what I'm here for today. I want to walk you through that so you can kind of see how to be able to do that with yourself as well. As I do this, let me know what questions you have. Let me know what concerns. Let me know how this applies. Let me know, well, this kind of doesn't apply, but I'd like to learn more in this area because it'll guide me next time. I do this each month, and my goal is to help people get this information so they can begin at least practicing having a better life, helping themselves remove and kind of get through that negative thinking or that limiting belief that's going on. As a mindset reset coach, I also have myself become a guru in it because I've been practicing it my whole life. And I know I've been told I look really young, but I'm 46. And I wasn't sure how old I was yesterday, so I had to do the math again. But yes, I'm 46. And it's just important to allow yourself to know that you can go through it. I've done years and years and years of development and work, and I've paid trainers and schooling and spiritual work and all of these things. So it's not like you're supposed to just know it. So give yourself a break. All right. So the first thing we're going to go into is we're just going to introduce myself a little bit. You don't know who I am. You don't need to know who I am. That's not the important part. The important part is you get to know you, and you get to be able to make these changes in your life. So as I'm pulling that up, go ahead and share this out to whomever you would like for them to see this. Share it out to your groups. Share it out to people you're like, ooh, I know they want to know this information. So just go down to the bottom there and you'll see where you can share this information. You can copy the content and share it right over. All right, cool beans. So now I have also shared it. Good. All right. So I'm going to share my screen. You're going to see it pop up in a second, and we're going to go over some slides together. And let me know any questions that you have. If I don't see it because there's a bit of a delay that pops up, I'll answer your questions later. I'll be able to instant message you and contact you back. All right. So my screen share should be coming up right now. It's a little slow. Just let me know when you see it. Give me a thumbs up. Any questions? You should be seeing the first screen, and it introduces myself. And so I also have a program where I work with folks to help them kind of work through these things. Like I mentioned with you, I can work with groups, I can work with individuals, but I like to call it Revive Your Relationships Starting with Yourself. You may have seen that through the information that I sent out through social media. You might have been invited, but either way, the idea is to allow yourself to revive that relationship with yourself, starting with you. Because if you're really focused on other people, then it's more about maybe people pleasing, or it's more about trying to fix them. When I'm working with couples, whether personally or professionally, and the idea is you want to think about it. When you're working with a couple, it's personal and professional, right? If you're anything that you're doing affects your partner. But there's also, if you are working together, that's also a situation that we want to be able to work on and help you guys take a look at. Where's the struggle? How are you not listening to each other? Where might you feel like you're saying everything that you need to say, but they're just not getting you? They just hear it their own way every single time, or they feel the same way and vice versa. So we're going to talk about that today. The most important thing as we're walking through this is think about how you are doing this work for you, and it will overflow into others. It'll overflow into your business. It'll overflow into relationships with your clients. It'll overflow into relationships with your partner, your children, your parents. This works in every way. All right, cool beans. So go ahead and get started. So like I mentioned, my name is Tammy Workman-Lopez. My company is Sparks Hope, and my goal is to help people allow themselves to move forward into their goals, remove their limiting beliefs, removing the things that are blocking them, and helping them get to the root of it. It helps to declutter it. It helps to do it quickly and easily. People have been doing this work sometimes for years, and they feel like they're really not getting anywhere, and they feel kind of frustrated or disappointed often by the time they get to me. As we go through one session, they already start to feel better. They already start to see hope, sparks hope. They already start to see options. I also have partnered up with another company who helps to take a look at how do we make a business grow? So we can look at both directions in both ways. So I'm working with the individual, helping them on their relationships, or as a group, helping them on their relationships. And then my partners are helping them grow and thrive and getting the things that they need to make their business develop. So if any of these things sound like you and you're like, ooh, I want to learn more about that, message me, comment here. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what your thoughts are. All right. So first things first, you want to take a look at what can't you see? This little guy here, he's so cute. The idea is an elephant thinks if it can't see you, you can't see it. Well, is that true? Absolutely not. It's adorable, right? For a little while. You're trying to tell people something. I can't see, I don't know. No, not hearing you. Well, after a minute, it becomes not so adorable. And the same thing happens for us. If people are trying to talk to us or show us something or reach us, and we're just like, no, they're the problem, we can't see those things. And so the most important thing is to allow ourselves to begin to talk about those problems. And oftentimes the problems have gotten us so heightened, we don't want to talk about them. We just want to make things okay. We just want to be able to get through a day without fighting or without feeling frustrated or without feeling stressed or feeling tense. Well, we're just not in a place to be able to work it out ourselves. And that's all that means. I have people I have to work with too. When I get in my head or I get in my emotions or I'm at this heightened level, I need a little bit of support to walk it through. It's just how it works, right? Your heart beats faster. Your blood pressure goes up. You're just like, your mind starts to race. You can't process through when you're in that level. That's all it is. So as you're talking with someone else who can help you work it through, that stuff calms down. And let's say you're working with a partner and they're trying to talk to you and you're trying to talk to them, and both of you are learning, listening how you've learned to listen to each other. It's not going to be any different just because you try harder. It's got to be different because there's a different way to do it. Somebody else comes in and says, okay, so I hear you saying this and I hear them saying that. What do you hear me saying? Do you hear the same thing? How are you listening? What's the filter? What do you believe about what that person's saying? What's the limiting belief going on? We can't pull that stuff apart on our own until you get the skills, until you learn how. And then as you have that, then you start to see it. You start to become aware of it. It comes from the subconscious mind into the conscious mind. Yes. So I hope you're hearing me. Let me know what questions you have. Now, a big part of this is being able to reframe our thinking. So you'll see this question here, but I can't, I'm scared, I'll get hurt. Okay. And then the question, okay, what if I try? But how? Most people don't know those answers. So they don't get to that second part because that second part is much more vulnerable. Instead, it's like, no, I can't, just get off. Versus, all right, I want to, but how? Oftentimes we get stuck in that place and the how doesn't have an answer. And then we go back to, no, forget this. This is too much. You're too much. This is too much. I'm too much. Just forget the whole thing. This allows us, as we begin to learn these different things, to be able to see the how. Oftentimes, and I like this little cartoon here because this is how I used to feel. Sometimes I still do. When someone is giving me good advice, Oh, like you should just do this, or you should just do that, or just do this. Oh, haven't you tried that? I bet you didn't do this. That good advice is not telling me how to do that. It's just sometimes rubbing it in like, oh, it's just this easy. And that's what that picture is about. And the idea is we also want to pay attention. Are we giving others advice without really giving them the steps? Like, oh, just do that. You know, oh, another one that people used to do all the time. Just have faith. Just pray about it. Do you not know I've been praying about it for like ever? And I'm also praying that God sends me somebody that can help give me some ideas and some support. And obviously, you're not it. Oh, let me just tell you that sometimes. Oh. So it's important to keep that in mind, that one, when someone's doing that, ask some more questions. Okay, I get that advice, but how would you do that? If you were me, how would you do that? If you were you, how did you do that? Who did you ask? How did you do that in your own life? So then we begin to understand and kind of help people chunk down the information where they don't realize they're just being too vague and not at all helpful, sometimes judgmental and critical, and not making it worse, right? So that's just something to keep in mind. So we learn how to ask those questions, but we also make sure that we're not doing that to others either. Okay, so this is just to remind us, when we're going through this process, we want to pay attention, continue to do the reframing. We might have particular thoughts and ideas that say things like, oh, I already tried this. I already know this. And then we're able to go, yeah, but you're not going to learn anything. You're not going to be open if you think you've tried and learned it all. So this allows you to check those thoughts, be mindful of that. So you're not getting yourself stuck in that. You're not blocking yourself from being able to learn. You're able to clean up those thoughts and those beliefs. You're able to say, okay, so what if this doesn't work? Well, what if it does? Okay, so what if this does work? Well, then it could look like this, and it could look like this, and it could look like this. Then you can also take a look at, what are some ways that I can get support and I can get practice? And you'll see that that's able to help you make that difference. All right. So then the big piece of what I wanted to jump into and share with you is a document that I've created that you can actually get. Let me go ahead and pull that open for you. Now, you can actually find this on Etsy. I have it here, tinyurl.com/RYR Blueprint, Revive Your Relationship. Remember, starting with yourself, blueprint. Let me go ahead and put that in the comments as well so you have it. And then you can let me know if you have any questions as we're going through. All right, perfect. Okay. So what you're going to see is each, oh, wait, hang on. The sound on that went on. I'm hearing myself. I had to fix that. You're going to see that this document works in a couple different ways. This is going to help you learn the how, okay? So first of all, you can see each emotion there. This is from a book called The Secret Language of Feelings by Calvin Banyan. I actually changed a few things and I put it into the aspect of also how to set boundaries. And I changed some of the wording because I just find it to be a little bit more understandable in the words that I use to break it down. But the book is really great. I would suggest it. I suggest it to everyone. The Secret Language of Feelings. It's not about the movie The Secret. This is totally different. The Secret Language of Feelings by Calvin Banyan. So you'll see the emotion board, right? Think of the emotion like disappointed. I'm disappointed. I'm tired of this. That's what that means. Anger, unjust and unfair. This is unjust and unfair. And so that's why that feeling is starting to come. A lot of times people think that anger is because they need to lash out, because that person is hurting them and they need to hurt them back, or because they need to defend themselves. But anger came from this place. And we have negative thinking that will also get us to a place of anger. So it's important that we allow ourselves to do work with someone else who can pay attention to what it is that we're saying, how it is we're thinking, how are we coming across with our partner, with our clients? How is it that we're creating these same patterns? Why am I not able to close my calls? Why am I not able to come across and feel heard? Why do I feel like I'm doing everything myself? Those questions without answers are going to have us feel angry. And then there's other people who don't feel comfortable with anger. I don't feel angry about it. It's just, I just feel frustrated about it. We'll talk about frustrated in a second. The emotion of guilt. Guilt says that I've hurt somebody or I've hurt myself and I need to clean that up. If I'm not doing that, then guilt is there to make you feel bad. You need to take a look at what are those guilt thoughts that you're practicing, feeling bad with. It's not good for you. You don't deserve it. You don't need it. And it's important that you allow yourself to change that. Okay. Now I'm checking to see if you guys have any questions so far. And I'm also making sure, it looks like the link didn't populate. So let me make sure I put that in there. Okay. It's going to take me a sec. So I'm going to focus back on this. All right. But you can type it in tinyurl.com/RYR blueprint. And you'll see this exact same document. It's like $5. Now, the biggest piece that a lot of my clients are dealing with is this experience of inadequacy. This is the biggest one that comes up. However, they don't realize it's inadequacy because it shows up like anxiety or it shows up like anger. Or a lot of times people will describe themselves as frustrated. I'm just frustrated all the time. I'm not any of these other emotions. I'm just frustrated. But frustration is the second level of all of these emotions. If any one of these emotions are not taken care of, frustration is going to build. That's what frustration is there to tell you. Think of each of these emotions like an indicator, like a gas light that comes on, or an oil light, or a brake light, a little light that comes on to say, hey, this needs attention. But what we've learned to do instead, put a sticker on that. Imagine if you put a sticker on the gas light, what's going to happen? Not going to go well, that's for sure. It might go well for a minute, but pretty soon there's going to be impacts. And that's what we do. We put a little sticker or a little Band-Aid over these things and we don't handle the problem. And so we find ourselves, somebody says or does something, and we used to have a lot of patience, but now they say it and do it. We're up here fast. Because our subconscious mind begins to take what we're doing and say, well, that's the program of what we're supposed to do. So that's what we do. Anger, 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 frustration, 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 shut down, shut down, shut down. Happens faster, faster, faster. That's the way our mind works. It allows us to become automated. It saves us time. It's great. However, when we do it in a negative way, it's actually going to harm us and not save us any time. It's going to cause us a lot more problems. So what I do is this is the first step of what we take a look at when we're working together to see, how do you need to revive that relationship? Is it within yourself? What are you telling yourself? What are you feeling out there? What do you believe about the other folks over there? What do those other folks believe about you? And maybe you can't quite tell, but your results will help you to figure that out. But maybe you have a way that you're filtering your results. It's not making it better. Guys, this stuff is all at a subconscious level, right? There's nothing wrong with you that you can't get it. I've been studying this stuff for a really long time. And I started studying it because the first time I saw it work, I was like, holy shit, there's nothing wrong with me. Believe me, that was a meltdown, a good, sad, happy, sad, angry, sad meltdown. And not like I'm falling apart meltdown, but just like everything melted. All of the judgment, all the criticism, all of the not good enough, it just melted off because I could see, oh, there's another way to understand this. There's another way to do this. It's just because I didn't have these skills. It's just because I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't interpret it. I was seeing it from a perspective of, people want to hurt me. The world wants to hurt me. Well, it did most of my life. So of course I would have that perspective. Of course I would be defensive. Of course I would be obnoxious in the way that I saw things, because that's how I had thought growing up, that's the way it was. So this work breaks those patterns. It breaks those patterns within yourself. It breaks those patterns within your relationships. It breaks those patterns within the belief of how you're taking care of your business, how you're taking care of your clients, how you're taking care of your systems. It breaks it all. Now, I'm not saying this one little thing fixes it all. No. This one level stacked on other levels of practicing these tools is what helps your mind begin to shift out of the old way, cleaning that up, not just positiving into another direction, positive this and positive that and positive, cleaning this up at the same time. We're taking a look at the positive supports, bringing that clearing, bringing that ease. So as you're looking at things, you feel more joy, more peace, more connection. You're getting more results. You're stepping into more abundance. You're just feeling magnificent. And yes, it's work. However, by not working on it, that is way more work, way more stressful, way more filled with anxiety, way more difficulties, way more conflicts, way more problems. And you don't need that. So this allows you to be able to walk through that, to begin to understand. And you'll see in the whole thing here, this whole thing allows you to be able to take a look at each emotion. What does the emotion need? What's going on in my body? That part's not here, but I would work with you on that. What am I creating in my body when I do this? And we'll begin to check in on that too, because sometimes we don't know what we're thinking. We just feel it first. And so it gives you that opportunity to be able to decipher and work through in both directions. We also can take a look here and you can see frustration is level 2, but depression is level 3. And you might be like, ooh, I don't want to talk about that. No, not go there. I don't even like that word. But what if it just means this? What if you have somebody that just irritates the bejeebies out of you and you get frustrated so fast and your blood pressure's up here and your patience is down here and your reaction is just like right here? That's like a high level of frustration. And how many emotions do you think that is? Probably feeling disappointed, probably feeling angry, probably feeling guilty because I'm feeling angry and I want to punch somebody in the nose. Probably feeling sad because I'm upset with myself that I can't figure this out in some other way. Feeling separate from whomever it is I'm upset with. Also feeling separate from myself because I'm also feeling inadequate, that I can't figure this out and I'm upset with myself in that way. Feeling stressed and overwhelmed from all of what I'm feeling, all of what's going on over there, all of not knowing how to figure it out. And then there's the experience of feeling kind of anxious, or maybe even to the point of even more so feeling kind of panicked, like I can't breathe, because that concern of, oh my gosh, this is going to get worse. This isn't going to go well, which starts at a tiny level of fear. Most people don't know that. It escalates into anxiety, escalates into panic. All of that could be going on that quickly. And there is no way in heck you're going to be able to walk yourself through that. You can't. You can't be in the midst of it and walk yourself through it until you've learned how, until you've practiced it. Then you can. And you might have had already a lot of ideas and a lot of practice and a lot of tools and a lot of supports. And you might be like, oh, I'm so ready for this. Or I kind of have an idea, but how? I want you to reach out to me. I want you to let me know you want to have a discovery call, and we can talk about how you can do this. We can set you up and take a look at what would your roadmap look like? How would we plan this out? And you could take a look at how to break that down, both in your personal life, as well as your business, as well as any other specific areas. I also work with you on particular skills that you can develop, including what I just shared with you here. Understanding what the heck is it that I'm feeling? What is it that is going on for that person over there? How can I get through all of this? This area of my life is really working out, but this area, not so much. Or you might find, well, every area is working out, but I definitely want to level up with this. And this is just one part of it. The other part is being able to take a look at, how do I set boundaries in a respectful way? How do I allow myself to reach what it is that I'm blocked at, that I can't get to this next level? All of this will help you to be able to do that. And we'll be able to break it down so you can see, okay, so I can see that I'm doing good here, and I can see that I'm doing good here, but I really want to level this up here, and I really want to level that up here, and I really want to level this up here. And we create that game plan for you, that roadmap. It's very individualized for every business, right? For every entrepreneurial couple or every individual entrepreneur. So you'll let me know and we'll work it out together. We'll put the ingredients together and you'll see, okay, so this is what the recipe is going to look like. All right, so each time we meet and come together, this is how we're going to break it up. This is the how, guys. You might say to yourself, well, okay, I kind of get that, but I have some specific questions and some specific examples that I want to know how to work through. I want to know how to talk to them specific. We'll do that. We will take on the how. This is going to be general advice. I'm going to give you tools and techniques. I'm also going to help you learn how you might be in the process of trying to tell yourself you're not good enough, or you need to be perfect, or there's something going on here that's blocking you from moving forward. And we're going to take a look at those things, what limiting beliefs are going on. There's so many different things. Sometimes there's aspects of needing to work on forgiving yourself for something, or forgiving somebody else for something. And not the kind of forgiveness that says, oh yeah, that's okay. But the kind of forgiveness that says, no, that wasn't okay. And we need to set some boundaries so I'm safe and you're safe. And we both feel good in this relationship with each other. That's what real forgiveness looks like. So then you can live in peace. And, whether or not they work things out, that's up to them. It's not your problem. You're taking on you, you're setting your boundaries, and you're feeling good. And you're giving a good space for them to feel good too if they want to. If they don't, they have the right to live miserably. That's not your problem. You don't take that on anymore. So there's loads of things that we would be able to work on and help support you with. And I wanted to make sure I got that to you today. So please let me know any questions or concerns that you have thought about. I want you to know how you can make the change. I want you to know that you can. I want you to know that you can do it individually, as a couple. You can do it as a small business. You could even do it as a family group or a friend group. Reach out to me here, sparkshope.life/book-online, and then we'll set up a time. You'll let me know. I look forward to connecting with you. I love to be able to share this information with you so you can release any negative thinking. You can release any negative emotions that feel like they've been bogging you down. You can release anything going on in your past or fears you have for your future, stuff going on in your present. You do not have to struggle the way you're struggling. It can look and feel so much better. Even if nothing changes around you, because your thought process around it, because your action steps are going to step you into your life, taking on your life. Even if everyone else wants to be miserable and unhappy, you can step into being amazing and happy and joyous and successful. And the cool thing is other people see it and watch it, they begin to see what's possible for them too. And you end up with a mission on your hands that you didn't even know. Because as you're making these changes, you see other people making these changes and you're like, wow, I do have a mission in life with this. I do have a legacy with this. Or not. It could just be just a way that you kind of step out of unhealthy things in your life, or it could be a way that you up-level the wonderful things going on in your life. In either way, you deserve it. So allow yourself to be able to do that. Give yourself that opportunity. And let me know if you have any questions. Let me know what takeaways you have. I would love to hear how that supported you. I'd also love to hear, I don't know how that supported me. How can that help me? This is a concern that I have right now. This is a challenge in my life, in my business. Tell me how this could help me. And then we'll talk about it. I love to get the positive feedback. I love to get the negative feedback because both help, right? And I want to be out here. I want to be making sure I'm getting this information to somebody, to you or to your friends or to your loved ones who are like, I've needed that. Oh my gosh, I've needed that. When I found this information, it was in my 30s. And I was searching. And I've still continued to grow and learn and develop. And I'm still finding new information in my 40s, which I'm now implementing into the same program that I'm doing. So just let me know, even if you think, yeah, I want to be a troll, or I want to tell you these things that I didn't like. Whatever, I don't mind. I want to hear all of it, okay? You'll be able to see here that I also have a Facebook group you can become a part of, and I share information there all the time. If that's something that you'd like, let me know. You can also email me here and let me know that as well. The Facebook group is, let me go ahead and give you the link right here. It's tinyurl.com/create-ease, and that'll get you right into the group. And the idea of the group is to help you think about how you can relieve anxiety, negative thinking, help yourself practice being in a better space. All right. All right, cool beans. And then lastly, you just have my information here. So if you need to reach me, you can go onto my Linktree. I love that one. That's got everything. You can see it in the bottom left. Linktree's got every way you want to reach me. It also has some support tools there for you. And you have my phone number. So you'll be able to text me. I'm old school. I like text messages. I like phone calls. And you also have the link to book online. I'll leave you with that. There you go. All right. So let me know. I hope you liked this time. It looks like because I'm sharing screen, Facebook is not popping up to let me know any comments. So I apologize if you commented during this time and I didn't reply immediately, but I will go back and I will check your questions. So let me know what questions you have. Share with me what's your biggest challenge right now, personally, in your business. Whether you think, oh yeah, totally with my relationship in this regard, that regard, totally my mindset in this regard, that regard, anything going on in your thinking. You're like, I don't know how I could, it doesn't matter. Ask me. And then if you have other areas in your life where you're like, I want some lead generation, I want some system build, I want somebody to help me walk through step by step in my company to take these steps. Just remember, I've also partnered with another company called More Value Now, and we together are helping companies with the details of the business. So we cover all of those aspects. All right, you guys, bring it in. Big squishy hugs. Oh, we need them all the time. I'm thinking about giving you one. I'm thinking about getting one back from you. So this feels even more of a big squishy hug than me just giving it to myself. So know that you're cared for, and know that I do this work because I want people to get the information. I know what it felt like to not have it. And it sucked. But I also know what it feels like to have it and move forward and keep accomplishing and making differences and even more than I thought I could. So leveling it up is also even better. All right, you guys, you take care of you. Know that you are cared for. Know that you're appreciated. Know that you're loved. I'll talk to you later. Bye for now.